Alright guys, I'm back with my review of TNA Impact Wrestling for January 23rd, 2014. And the show starts off with Magnus, Dixie, and Spud talking to Creed, their lawyer. And the board of directors, TNA has a board of directors, have been meeting because someone, whoever's trying to take over the company, has been buying up a lot of shares. I'm not making this crap up. Someone's actually buying shares of TNA. I don't even think TNA has shares. But Creed tells Magnus that they need to play ball tonight, and the people who are buying all the shares want someone in Sting's corner, and Magnus says, well, we can do some stuff too. We'll make the match no DQ, no count out. It was horrible. Magnus comes out and he says Sting is a snake, and he thought Sting was a real man. And Sting comes out and says, look, I don't know any investors, I don't know what's going on with that, but you're a paper champion, and now you've lost the respect of everyone. So Magnus slaps Sting. Sting starts punching him. EC3 and Spud start attacking Sting. All three of them try to beat him down. Samoa Joe runs out and fights him off. And then Sting says Joe's going to be the guy in his corner tonight. Backstage, Rockstar Spud and Dixie are talking about Samoa Joe being in Sting's corner, and they got to find some way to get rid of him. So Dixie decides to put him in a match against Spud. Why not just put him in a handicap match against Bad Influence, or a match against another big guy like Hernandez or something like that? But no, she puts him in a match against Spud. Gunner versus James Storm in a briefcase on a pole match. And they take Gunner's case, put it on the pole. Towards the end of the match, James Storm runs up and actually grabs the briefcase, but Gunner gets him on his shoulders and drops him back. And then they start brawling over the briefcase. Gunner headbutts Storm and grabs the case to win the match. And it was very slow-paced, boring, and the finish was dumb. Kurt Angle says if he can't beat Bobby Roode tonight, he doesn't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. Then they show a video of Velvet Sky getting a present from Chris Sabin. It's a pipe that he wants her to use in the match later. Then it's Sabin versus Austin Aries. Who cares about this? And Sabin comes out with Velvet Sky, and she's got a gift bag with her. And they put her in the cage with the gift bag. They just let her go in the cage with this bag. And Sabin goes over to get the bag from her. He looks inside, and the pipe's not there. It's a teddy bear instead. And Austin Aries attacks him, hits the brainbuster, gets the win. New X Division champion. Please let this feud be over. The American Wolves cut a weird promo. They show some video, and it's all distorted, and they're talking about the new TNA investor and how he's going to be revealed next week, which is actually tonight's show. And I've heard some rumors about who it is, but I don't want to spoil anything. I don't think this show's already been taped. Hopefully tonight's show is live, but I'm sure you guys can look it up, who the TNA investor is. But then it's Kurt Angle versus Bobby Roode in a steel cage for Angle's Hall of Fame induction. And this was a good match. I like this match here. Angle did a moonsault off the top of the cage. Of course, it's insane. I don't know why he still does that, but the crowd was actually kind of dead until he did the moonsault. Then they got into the match. But Bobby Roode is trying to crawl out of the cage. Angle's climbing over the top, and Angle makes it out first. So Angle wins the match, and now he can go into the prestigious TNA Hall of Fame. EC3 is trying to get Spud fired up for his match against Sting. And he says he's a British boot camp champion. And Spud asks if he watched the whole show, and EC3 says he watched a good 5 or 10 minutes. That's more than I watched. But he says that Spud is the British dream, and he can defeat Sting. And this was great stuff here. EC3 was awesome. Spud was awesome too. The Bromans are in the ring, and they're talking about Eric Young and Joseph Park. And they actually mentioned Zema Ion's briefcase for the X Division title, which is more hope that Austin Aries-Chris Sabin feud is over. Just have Austin Aries start feuding with Zema Ion, put Velvet Sky in the Knockouts division, and never speak of that whole feud ever again. And then you don't have to worry about what are you going to do with Sabin and Velvet Sky now. You can just forget the whole thing. It's so easy. But Eric Young comes out. He tries to fight the Bromans, all three of them. And then Abyss comes out to help him, and he just destroys everybody and leaves. Oh, actually, after he destroys the Bromans, he goes to chokeslam Eric Young, but then he lets him go. Then he leaves. Joe cuts a promo saying he's going to send a message through Spud tonight. Kurt Angle cuts a promo saying he loves Sting. Then it's Spud versus Joe. Joe just squashes him, chokes him out for the win. I don't know how this was supposed to stop Joe. I thought EC3 would run out or something, but Joe just beat Spud. The main event is Sting versus Magnus. And it's for the world title, but if Magnus wins, he gets to rip up Sting's contract. And Jeremy Borash said that Sting is 250 pounds. I don't buy that at all. I'd say 220. 230 tops, and that's pushing it. I do not see Sting being 250 pounds. But if you watch the last AJ Styles match, you basically saw this match. The same exact thing happens. Bad Influence runs out. EC3, the Bromans, and Samoa Joe and Sting are trying to fight them all off because it's no DQ. And then Angle runs out and he helps fight them off, and they all brawl to the back. Then it's just Sting and Magnus. He gets Magnus in the Scorpion, and Bobby Roode runs out. Same exact thing in the AJ Styles match. He attacks Sting, Magnus hits the driver and gets the win, and then he rips up Sting's contract. And that was the end of the show. And this show, the only thing I really liked personally was the cage match. So I have to say this was really a below average show. I just did not enjoy this. Nothing was really entertaining to me except the cage match. And that was the only thing that I actually got invested in. Everything else just kind of came and went and was either dumb or just not very good. Like the Sting Magnus match. It wasn't a good match, period. But as far as Sting and the rumors of him going to WWE, I don't think Sting versus Taker is going to happen. I wouldn't necessarily be against it if you got the cool 1997 Starrcade entrance Sting and he came out in the Crow gimmick. That would be a cool moment, but then he's got to wrestle. He's not in great shape. He has to wrestle in a t-shirt. You wouldn't get the annual Awesome Undertaker match, so that would be disappointing. And I just don't see the point in doing it. Maybe 10 years ago, Sting versus Taker or something like that, but now, what's the point? It wouldn't be good. It'd be a waste of an Undertaker match is what it would be. However, I could see Sting going to the WWE and doing some of the documentaries on WCW and interviews and stuff like that. Hopefully he will induct Ultimate Warrior into the Hall of Fame. I think that would be really cool. You could have some other Legends appearances, maybe have him in the Royal Rumble next year. So that's how you could use Sting properly in WWE, and I would be fine with all of that. But he doesn't need to wrestle anymore, so if he goes to WWE, he's going to make a lot of money, and he's not going to have to do all that much. It's win-win at this point. I have no desire to see another Sting match, period. But that's my review of the show. Hope you guys liked the video. Leave your thoughts on the show in the comments, and thanks for watching.